And a cross-section of women in the FCT is asking the federal government to strengthen and enforce stringent laws that will curb the incessant cases of domestic violence recorded in the country. The appeals come amid the death of popular gospel musician Osinachi Nwachukwu, who died over alleged domestic violence. They are also urging women and men in abusive relationships to speak up and find help rather than die in silence.
To come in, because when you talk about policies around gender-based violence under the VAP law, which is being reviewed in the next couple of months, we'll be reviewing that. We need every other people in terms of maybe the medical profession, the police, to come in, because a lot of the time, in fact, the key people here for me is traditional rulers and religion rulers and the educationists that need to come on board this conversation. We can't keep talking about gender-based violence and we are referring to the tradition, the culture, and the religion. So we need the traditional rulers, who are the gatekeepers, our community leaders, to come in and start addressing it from that angle. And then we need the religion leaders as well. In the mosques in the morning, we need our imams to start putting this message across. It's not okay to hit and beat and batter a woman. If it's not working, get help. You need to live to survive. You can't use your children as an excuse that because of the kids I can't walk away. Then you are already breeding the next Pandora box of abusers.
All right, the noise is really getting louder and louder and genuine for that matter. To get a sense of this ugly situation and how this affects women, we're now being joined by a victim, Rita Bassey, who is a victim of gender-based violence. Rita, nice to have you on Newsnight.
Thank you very much.
Would you, in a brief, give a summation of how you survived it? You were in there. You didn't only survive it. You now formed a kind of helping foundation on how to tutor women or men who are affected by this kind of violence. Because it's not just women alone that are in a relationship where they are battered. Am I right?
You're right. Yeah. It's two ways. The abuse and the abuser. Okay? The abuse and the abuser. Okay? So, we start from the foundation. Because just like you said, I don't call myself a victim, I triumph over it because I was in it. And I kept silence for over 2 years. Silence of the fear of religion, fear of culture, fear of what people will say, fear of stigmatization, all the fears because of that background. So, but I had to wake up one day and ask myself, Rita, who are you? I didn't just wake up as in from moon, because I had the foundation of, I'm a counseling psychologist. So I had understanding that I need to speak out.
All these born from the experience that you went through.
Yeah.
And it is this experience. What was it like? 2 years, you're saying? Was it because you didn't know the man? Was it because of altercations? Sometimes it could even be food, or why is this there? Or the man is the one bringing the money, or you are the one bringing the money, and the man feels oppressed or disrespected, or give us, let the public know.
Yeah, honestly, from my experience, anything trigger the abuser. Whether you have the money or the victim have the money, whether you make everything good, anything triggers him, because like my case, we dated. It was known by...
For how long?
We dated for like 3 months, okay? My in-law worked with him for like 2 years. It was my in-law that introduced us to each other, okay? And you need to see how my in-law praised him. So around this community, around the church, he was a clergy anyway. Everybody see him as an angel, as a saint. Actually, within that 3 months, he had never. There's what I call covert narcissism or psychopath. I mean, narcissism. So
yeah, that's the words that a lot of Nigerians are using now, that these people are narcissists and the rest.
They are. That's the word I can actually use for it, but they can actually cover up to the point that people outside there see them as saints, and only you see them as the beasts that they are showing you to
And
be.
it was hitting you. How beastful or bestial was he?
5 days after our wedding.
Yeah.
5 days
After
our wedding.
you had a baptism of his narcissist.
I can't forget that. I only smile about it now.
What was the argument?
It was a shock. Was there any argument? He took me to one of his followers to pray for, and we came in. We were just trying to. Okay, I was like, because it was late, I was like, it's time to go. You know, giving your partner a sign. Not that I told, just giving him sign. Why did you have to give me sign like that? You know, I'm doing the work of God. That one started. I didn't really talk. And why didn't you have boxes of wrappers? Don't you have wrappers like I made? Because I had opportunity to go around the ladies' rooms and all that. I said, well, I don't like tying wrapper. I know I like gown, but if you like, we can always buy and wear. It's time. Life is a stage. No. Why can't you? Why can't you have? You are just like your mother. As in, from one case to another, my mom was brought in. My late father that he doesn't know was brought in. It's so many talks from nowhere, and he burst out saying all manner of things to my mom. I was like, please, you can talk to me, but not my mom. By then, I was already crying because it was so shocking. Something that doesn't need to be a quarrel became so vocal, foolish woman, useless. Too many things I don't want to talk. I can't talk about mention because all manner of name. Okay? Now you are defending your mom, you marry your mom. This marriage is over 5 days after our wedding. I was now kneeling down, begging, please. It has not come to the, and it was shouting, you know. Somebody that was shouting above you, I was trying to, like, neighbors shouldn't really know what was going on. Please now, Kemi is not up to this. I kneeled down, begging. He was kicking me, was pushing me, did all manner of things that day. He forced himself outside. That was like a Saturday. Then on a Sunday, I was taking my bath and I was having pains on my ribs. So I was crying and I was actually saying out all the things he was doing yesterday. He was seated in the parlor. He now walked in. Then he has come back to himself. He said, I heard you crying, saying I hit you. Me? Hit you? How? When? I said, all the things you did yesterday. He said, no.
They are not in control of their actions?
You know, sometimes they think it tricks us.
So you must have empathy for them because they need psychological evaluation and treatment.
Here you come.
It's behavioral.
It's behavioral, and that's actually my experience made me, just like empathy, I have that for every abuser. I now come to realize that.
But they could kill in the process,
well, yeah,
you know, if quick measures are not taken, particularly the victim.
No, they can kill because all that they want to do, they want to actually gain control of the victim, demoralize the victim, and enslave the victim to leave their world. You understand? And my case was...
And when children are involved, what happens to those kids?
Oh, you pity the kids because that's where it starts. There's a circle of abuse. Like them, like I always say, the abuser you see today has been abused someday, whether through neglect or through abusive situation too, during childhood experiences and all that. They have had their own sphere of where they've been controlled or punished, they could not express themselves, and this thing just stored there in the subconscious mind. So as they are growing up, it's recalling. And they are looking for, because they could not express themselves, they are looking for someone they can actually control and tender this vengeance to. They are releasing their vengeance out to this person they're supposed to protect and love so much. And that's where they gain their satisfaction. So you see the sickness there is mental, biological, psychological sickness, okay? So they need help too.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. And very quickly to the victims who are in an abusive or who are in abusive relationships.
Yeah.
What's the quickest thing to do? Because sometimes we hear the church will say, hey, well, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
What will the church say? Exactly. What will my pastor say? What would the family say and the rest? Are those considerations not part of what is killing some of the victims
we have to break loose from that barrier, the cultural barrier and the belief system barrier, because so many of these things we believe ignorantly. The victim really need to know the value of, Nigeria generally need to know the importance of professional counseling. Because like the past experience, all this news we've been getting of the past victim that has just gone, she told others, they said, speak out to who? People you beg and they will pity you, they won't say out. You speak out to a professional counselor will now know the implication of what you are going through. Because at that time, once you allow yourself, more than 2 years you are in it, the abuser have control your subconscious mind.
The person is demented
already. You can't reason by yourself.
Well, glad you are out of it, and you are towering above it, and looking really great, and continue to extend, your own rich knowledge to help improving the lives of people who are still caught in this milieu. Thank you very much, Rita Bassey.
Thank you, sir.